Greg, what the hell's your problem with Dale Earnhardt?
Dale Earnhardt was
The most offensive thing I've heard you say. We've been friends for 48 years. We spilled the same blood in the same mud.
same Nile River.
And I think it's like spitting on the American flag.
Is it?
Maybe wiping your ass with the Star Spangled Banner.
Wow.
And saying, hey, pass the bald eagle. I'm hungry. And then you come up, and I'm like going, I can get over this, I think. And then you say, and also, I don't care very much for Dale Earnhardt.
I'm pretty sure I said I hate Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, why? Why? What did he do to you?
Personally, nothing. Other than the fact that...
Die heroically?
Heroic? That's a heroic death? I don't think so.
I was there, man.
You were not.
I saw it on TV that day. I was watching it live.
It's pretty sad that day. It's sad to see anybody die, no matter what. Okay. Rest in peace, Dale. I give you that respect. Other than the fact that every move that he ever pulled as the intimidator, quote unquote, air quotes here, the intimidator, right? He couldn't have that move pulled on him. So if he come up on your passenger side and he gets you a little bit light because he rubbed tires with you and rubbed your quarter and stuff, and you got a little loose and they passed you, yeah, that was good racing. But as soon as somebody did that to him, they were cheating. He didn't like it. He was...
You're saying he can dish it out, but he can't take it.
Yeah, and they called him the intimidator. Well, yeah, if anybody can just walk up and do that and walk away, he's the bully.
Yeah, but you can't call yourself, as a NASCAR driver in a black-on-black car, call yourself the intimidated.
I don't... Well, he wasn't number 1. He was number 3. That tells you a lot right there. So, I mean, curse him. Curse words towards him.
What are you going to be, like a car with a me on it, with a live cougar in the back? No.
Well, he tamed his fear doing that. So, just the fact that, like, back in those days, there was Harry Gant and Bill Elliott, and the Allison family was racing a lot.
Yeah.
And they were just as good as him. I mean, don't get me wrong. Dale Earnhardt was a hell of a good driver. He was very good at the job that he did. Yet, he did a lot of shady things. Not a lot. He did shady things, like I referenced earlier, where, you come up on somebody, you get the rear end loose. That's racing if you do it inadvertently. But if you come up and you're excuse me, just keep nudging them, Rubin's racing. I wasn't trying to get him loose. You can see the tactics, and NASCAR officials can see the tactics, and they'll say something, but oh man, he's winning. He's selling a lot of product this year. We're not going to say too much because he's Dale's the intimidator. Oh my god.
Because and all the stuff that he did to whatever, Jeff Gordon and everybody else, and everybody's like going, oh, he's my hero. And then they race with him, and he's bashes, hits him, gets him out of the way, because he's a bully. But also, man, I mean, I'm
going to do anything it takes to win. And that's a great mentality to have. I got to win for myself. I got to win for my sponsors. I got to win to make money, et cetera, but when somebody does the same thing you're doing to win against you so they can win, you can't complain about it. You can't say anything about it. And then he gets out of the car with that stupid-ass mustache. Hey, son of a bitch. Oh, come on, dude. You do the same thing to all the other guys out there. You can't say anything. Come on.
Also, just to be fair, if we have any sponsors on the show, we will win for you, and we will.
I'll put them in the wall.
We will knock people off of the road and into the guardrails for you.
But I won't complain about it when somebody does it to me. That's the sense of community that you're supposed to have in the racing scenario, because everybody's there to do the same blessed thing, win that God-loving race, right?
Yeah, the thing I hate the most about NASCAR is that they can't all get first place trophies.
Right. It's not a participation.
When my dad and I are watching the football, which I'm horrible at it, I'm a bad
person to watch sports with.
Yeah, because I don't get it, so I'm like, oh, I'll give a unique perspective on the outside, and then I'm just sitting there watching it, and I can't get into it because I never really played in high school or anything like that, which Dad did, and he really, loved it. But but like when it's like tied or whatever, I'm like I'll say it a lot to him, which he doesn't even react anymore. I go, oh, they're tied. That means we could just end it now and still be friends. Wouldn't it be great?
No.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if we can all pretend that we're all best friends here on the field? Because
okay, we both win.
Yes,
Shake
exactly.
hands and leave.
Well, I know, but I get the competition for sake. But then having an overall perspective of any of these motorsports, it's like you're risking your life. You're gonna die, and then having a guy like Dale Earnhardt coming up on you and pushing you in an era when they weren't, as he demonstrated himself, weren't completely safe. Not that it's completely safe still.
Yeah.
But
nobody would survive that crash still.
Yeah,
today.
but far more death-defying, 20 years ago, and then
much more.
And then saying that, okay, I'm competing to win a trophy and a purse, and I get that's livelihood, but also one of the guys that loses could also die, and that's kind of like, it's wild.
Well, you could still die on the last lap and win the race.
Yeah.
You could crash and go across the finish line dead.
Yeah, and some of them have, I don't know if they've died, like, going over the finish line, but it's, I've definitely seen cars upside down go across the finish line.
And I'm not talking the Ricky Bobby style either. I'm saying that one guy last year or the year before, it was the last lap, and he just put the car,
wall ride.
Yeah, and he rode the wall around and got 7 positions or some absurd number.
So he could get into the finals.
Yeah, and then NASCAR had to make a rule that you can't do that now.
Yeah,
come on, dude. He trashed his car to get that done. He probably his crew was probably
they didn't disqualify him. They did let him in, and he got his place rightfully, and he earned it, honestly, because that was the coolest thing ever.
He absolutely earned it.
And they let him get in to his position, so he didn't lose that. That was very smart of NASCAR to let that happen. And
he could have really messed himself up. He could have messed up somebody else. I mean, if something comes off that car, it goes in the stands.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many worst case scenarios that you can say.
Well, then everybody would start doing it too, especially if you.
I'm just saying, there's a risk at any time. I mean,
then we would only have rail slides on, for 500 miles or whatever.
All tires would be tucked and they just ride the wall.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know the cars probably wouldn't last, but then they'd have to come up with a rule it's like, they weren't racing trains. Who cares? But
but I'm just saying, to risk your life to go back to the pursuit of the person, the trophy. Yes.
Man, maybe that's why I would never be a good. I'm so detached from winning a trophy. I've done it in automotive things, but the joy is in the work itself, and not in necessarily beating somebody else at this. Maybe it is. I don't know. Gosh, what am I saying?
I'm pretty sure the joy is coming first.
Okay, you're right. Never mind. Death to our enemies, and they will know us by the trail of the dead.
By my taillights driving away.
Yeah, my trophy will be loneliness at the top of my mountain. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
No, the enjoyment is building the car, getting to the track, and knowing that your car can make it around the track for the duration of the race.
But seriously, though,
the length of the quarter mile, whatever it is you're racing automotively, whether it be UTVs, side-by-side monster, whatever. Yeah, building that thing and getting to the track, that is an accomplishment, and you get a trophy for that in your head and your heart because you did it. But actually taking that thing and then winning the race, that's addictive.
Oh, for sure. I had a point that I forgot, but yeah, it just be, and I get too ecclesiastical about it and just say, oh, it doesn't matter. It's just chasing after the wind. It doesn't. None of this is important, and then you lose all motivation to even do it or pick up pick up a torch and build anything.
Right.
So I get that, and maybe creatively do need a boundary, deadline, a box to fit it in, and maybe competition really helps define that creatively for all these teams too. And also maybe if you have a mellow yellow on the side of a car, that then everybody goes, wow, they're the best soft drink because they're attached to a winner.
They're on a NASCAR.
Like, yeah, just like the 1993 Monte Carlo, or what was you remember the Intimidator edition of the Monte Carlo, Chevy Monte Carlo?
Yeah.
And
it was painted Monte Carlo
2000
90
front drive.
93, 94. Yeah, front wheel drive. You can't have a
3.8 liter. It was, which is a great engine, but
yeah, but you can't have a front wheel drive.
Yeah,
Dale ain't driving no front wheel drive car. Gosh darn it!
No, I wonder how many NASCAR drivers have actually owned like the car that they drive. Now they got Mustangs, and that's cool.
Well, yeah, but they also have Camrys.
Yeah.
So how many? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them are driving Camrys because they got them free. And
Camry, the Toyota Camry,
it's a great car.
The best engineered vehicle in the world.
It is a great car.
It is probably better engineered than any Koenigsegg or Bugatti. Not really, but I mean, it's like. But I'm just saying that like more time and effort has been poured into that car.
Only because it's been in production for like 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
The Corolla is even better then because it's been in production for 50 years or 60 years.
Yeah, but it's
the longest lasting name brand is the Corolla.
But hundreds of thousands of man hours and ideas and dedication, blood, sweat, and tears to get into this, to a vehicle who has to appeal to everyone.
Everyone in every country almost, huh?
In every country.
So it is better. So you can understand why the NASCAR drivers driving in the 4-door Camry at home.
Yeah, maybe. Also, like, okay, more tangents, but that remember Rush? You ever see that movie Rush with about Niki Lauda and James Hunt, the Formula One? It had the guy who played Thor, Chris Hemsworth.
Oh no, I have not.
Oh, it's so fun. But like Niki Lauda's driving, around the country roads he wanted to leave a party and he's driving a girl home basically, and he's driving real slow. There's one scene that leads up to it. He's just driving real slow, like nobody, and there's guys in the back seat that are like going, come on, drive faster. You're a racing driver. He goes, he says, well, there's no need to take risk. We're on a public street. Well, why? It's not worth the risk. And of course, he ends up getting goaded into driving fast down the roads and stuff like that. And it's like, it's so funny because it's so stupid. Like for some reason, shifting 4 more times makes your car 3 times faster, and everybody in the car is like going, I had no idea. I could just downshift, and this car would be so much more lively. I've been starting out in 3rd gear every time. What a revelation, like every Fast and Furious, and with the 15 speed gearboxes and the
oh yeah.
And but this had a little bit of that too. But also, they even do that in Ford versus Ferrari. They did it in this latest Ferrari movie. They did it in every car racing movie where it's like they want to show some drama, and so that's more shifting.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Well, particularly this corner, you have to shift because it's a dramatic corner. So
yeah,
the
dramatic corner. I can understand showing some tire squealing and.
Well, that's why they always had sound effects guys back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, because the movie wasn't as good without good sound effects. So you had those 3 guys in the sound room going for when guys are walking in, or they had the coconuts for the horses galloping along, whatever.
Yeah.
You have to have the good sound effects to make the visual effect that much better.
Fair.
Because if we could have smell-o-vision, and have the smell of the gas and the tires and the asphalt and the rain and everything, and that Ford versus Ferrari and the Daytona race scene, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I mean, you'd be absolutely submersed in that. So I can understand the extra gears for no reason in those shows. I mean, classic 80s and 90s TV shows. Every cut scene to the next, the motor's going again. Cut scene, the motor's going again. Wait, they just had tires locked up going around that corner. How are they on the gas again?
Yeah, it's great.
So, yeah, the sound effects, so many gears, you have to have it.
I know, and maybe I should be driving more with emotion than in practicality. You're
But the
right.
funny thing is, if I'm in the truck, my Toyota, and
Uh-huh.
I'm coming up a hill, I'll
Yeah.
do the like, ooh, that would have sounded cool in the movie. I bet that sounds like a movie gear shift.
Love it.
So trying to keep my foot on the gas and not have the RPM.
Perfect.
So yeah, too many gear shifts.
Well, okay, yeah, because originally I was talking about like, yeah, these guys, the NASCAR guys, might drive Camrys because, and I've heard that too, like where professional race car drivers are just, their hearts don't move that fast, because and when they are off the track, then you don't assume risks, and so it doesn't matter to them because there's no goal, there's no prize in getting to the hardware store faster. So
And they can get in trouble for it too.
oh yeah,
Because that could put them as a
I
financial liability at risk.
I met IndyCar Rookie of the Year J.R. Heidelbrand when I was working at a window tint place.
Nice.
I had a job, like a window tint place. It was like a 3-week job in between jobs, and he came in, and I'm like going, "Holy crap!" Like nobody else kind of knew who he was because they're not car guys because they just do window tint.
Street race on the weekends.
I'm just joking. If you do window tint, you're an important part of the automotive landscape, and I love you. But I think it was cool because I met him, and he showed up in a Cadillac CTS-V wagon, and so I'm like going, that's an IndyCar driver's car. That's what he drives.
I want to salute him. Yes.
And he came in, and I'm like going, would you like the ceramic window tint? Would you like $800 worth of stickers on your windows? And he's like going,
make it hard to see
he
at
goes,
night.
just match the rears to the front. That'd be great. And and like, but seriously, he spoke slow and soft, and it was once every 4 minutes his heart beat again, because you could see his body move, because
that one beat moved. It
was like, okay, we're gonna
the biggest
pump
muscle
blood
in your
again.
body.
And then all right, so yeah, he had no anxiety, no nervousness at all. I thought he would be really intimidated to meet me, and like, and then, but yeah, it was just interesting, like, because he just really really calm guy, and I'm like going, oh okay, so that kind of lends into that.
I haven't met a
calm
lot
off the track.
I haven't met a lot of celebrities, but it seems like the ones that I have met, they're just calm, normal people, regular Joes and Schmoes.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, also, I think maybe that's probably the attitude you want to have. I guess you don't want to have a wiry guy who's doing 1,000 things and real anxious on track. Also dealing with a 250 mile an hour, a flyweight car with 700 horsepower. So
yeah, and multiple other drivers on the course.
Yeah, in the rain at night. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know what makes a good race car driver, other than their
no fear.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. No fear.
Yeah, it's just later braking, harder, higher, more on the edge, more of the time.
Well, I think it goes back to that other question we had last time. How do you teach common sense?
Oh,
if you've come into that corner late 1,700 times, you're gonna know where you can go, and it's no longer fear. You're just past that point. You know how to do that corner. Mm-hmm. So the race car drivers that have been in NASCAR for 10 years, they've driven all the tracks, even with all the changes. They can talk to other NASCAR drivers. I remember when this track used to have blah 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 blah, and they know, okay, when I had this car, I had to brake here to get to that corner and get the most speed coming out of that corner. But now that I have this car, I can brake there and accelerate here and come out of the corner that fast. So
yeah,
I don't think it's a matter of a mental thing anymore. The guy that goes to the sawmill every day and he's running that 4-foot saw blade, running 10-foot diameter logs through it. He's no longer scared of that blade. He's got respect for that machine and he knows how to operate that. He's not scared of it because he's been next to it and been doing it. Same thing for any kind of a race car driver.
Yeah,
You get used to being in that seat of death.
I guess so, and I guess that's true. I guess with any kind of you get used to any kind of danger, and then you can move up and get.
Like the steel builders, the skyscraper guys,
hmm
those standing on those beams, they got fall protection and everything like that. But you still got to be fearless to get up there.
Yeah. So like, what do? Do you, if you want to become a better driver, do you want to have you want to be more conscious of the vehicle? I mean, have it be more dangerous? Do you want to get rid of the airbag and put a spike in the center of the steering wheel?
So you lose your eye, like Jackie,
Well,
or what's his name?
lose your eyes.
You lose your eye like Sammy Davis Jr.
He did the spike in the steering wheel thing.
No, back in the 50s,
Yeah,
he was drunk and got in an accident. And the
oh,
steering
really?
wheel
I didn't know that.
impaled his eye.
Rest in peace, Sammy Davis.
That's why he had a
Jr.
glass eye.
Um,
Who loves you, baby?
I, I didn't know that happened that way. Well,
But
okay.
yeah, you don't want to just absolutely beat the race car to win the race. That's the whole premise of all of that, right? The happiness, the happy medium between going for broke, driving the wall get your position, or
Well, I mean, you just get used to a higher threshold of speed and danger and everything else. So I mean, I think that's with any of us too. I mean, even just turning wrenches. You get oil changes are nothing. It's like you want me to put a tie rod on here, and it took me an hour to free something up, and now it's like, oh, I know exactly what to do. I know the right tools to do it, and then
now it's a 15-minute.
and then and then it gets and then I don't mind it at all because all the stuff that I would put off forever now I don't mind because my pain threshold's higher, my tolerance is higher, and I get getting that too. And so working at other shops when there's real young guys who who I will never have their confidence,
Yeah,
I was just like, wow, he came in here and he is the boss. I mean, and he's okay. Hi, Josh. I'm going to talk about you now. But there's a guy named Josh who I think he's still very green, but he's the last person to know that he's green, and but he has more confidence than I've ever had. He also pulls amazing girls. He's talking to some girl on okay, like he goes really too far into some job, and then he gets frustrated with it because he doesn't have that stop thing where he should probably learn or ask a question. But also, that's probably going to serve him well because in a career because he's just going to go for it every time, which is awesome. And he honestly, at his age, he's more skilled than a lot of techs at 24 or something. He was, I don't know, 22, but the he it was so dang funny because he showed this picture. He goes, "I'm talking to this girl online, and I don't know, man. I don't know if she's real or not. Like she's faking me." I'm like hold up a newspaper at today's date, so I know that you're real or whatever, because she's like Brazilian or something like that. And I'm like I go, what? He's like, well, I think I'm going to just go after her or whatever. He's like, I'm telling her that she's stupid and whatever. And now she's like after me. I'm like, going, awesome, dude. I got to write this down. And then he shows me a picture of her on his phone, and I go, I don't have imaginary girlfriends in my fantasies that are half as hot as this girl. I go, if this is
for real,
then go for it, dude.
Why wouldn't you? Right?
Like, yeah, go show up at Applebee's, and who cares if she doesn't show up? You go, this girl stood me up or whatever, or you say, I just blew off this girl. That's what you tell them. I guess the next one, I don't know.
I told her Chili's. Here I am at Applebee's.
Dude, I don't know, but it was so funny. I'm like, oh man, I would adore the opportunity to get rejected or get stood up by somebody that hot. So anyway, it's funny stuff. But
the fearlessness is something I've always admired in other people. My good friends Anthony and Simon, they have that. They just walk right up to whatever it is and start doing it, even though they're like, I have no fucking clue how I'm going to do this. And when I have that no clue thing, I'm kind of like, maybe I'll take this nut off real gentle, and maybe I'll take this off real gentle.
Yeah.
I slowly dig into it, but they're like, take it all off, take it apart. And then sometimes they're, oh shit, I took too much off, or oh shit, scenarios pop up for them.
Yeah.
Same thing for me though, but that usually pops up because I don't know what I'm doing and I've done it wrong.
Well, it's the overthinking thing.
Yeah, that's
my favorite.
detriment.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Yes.
I've overthought a car project for 10 years, 12 years now, I think.
Right.
And I got about there 15 years the overthinking before I start turning wrenches on
You
it.
better get busy on that overthinking then.
Dude, I'm going to double down on my overthinking this weekend. So I got a whole Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's why
buckled.
the Blazer's been sitting there for so long, because I overthink it.
Yeah, I know.
And honestly, all I have to do is just throw a small block in it. I have everything to make it run, probably,
dude,
but the small block.
Dude,
so
I might have a small block in my backpack here, man. Everybody has a small block. Let's put it in, right?
I used to have a bench over there that had 3 small blocks. I threw them away.
In an aspect, I think, of this podcast is that I do want to encourage, well, you and I, and also encourage people listening that, sympathizers listening, that they would just get off the duff and start getting that project underway that you put another dang old empty Amazon box on top of. And then once it becomes a storage shelf.
Cool part for it that you put inside of it that you're not putting on.
Yeah.
There's headers, there's so many great parts. There's a wiring harness. There's so many wonderful
How many projects
parts.
Right now are in front of that project?
None.
None?
None.
Wow. Way to go, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, way to shame myself right there.
Well, shame. First step of recovery is admitting that you have.
Well, okay, I'm sucking.
I don't know. But yeah, I have my dream car that I want to get going is in my garage, and I have 4 cars outside of the garage that have to be finished in order for me to get to it.
That's why the 15-year game plan.
No, I had plenty of opportunity and cash to do it. And I just, and I'm like going, it's raining. I'm not done with this. Yeah, I'm going to watch King Kong again for the 3rd time.
Well, the problem with the Blazer was I won a Toyota, so
okay,
I kind of got distracted.
Well, then why not Tokyo Drift that and put a 2J or a Toyota engine in that?
In the Blazer?
In the Blazer.
That'd be ridiculous.
Oh. Maybe there's something there. Maybe
can I carburate it?
A carbureted Toyota 4-cylinder from some Tercel.
Yeah, there you go.
Did Toyota make a 3-cylinder? I bet you we could find one. Certainly Suzuki.
The Prius has 3 cylinders.
Really?
Yeah. The first Priuses had 3 cylinders.
I'm okay with hybridization. I think that'd be cool.
Make it electric?
Yeah.
Half electric, half.
Okay.
A 3-cylinder and electric?
I drove out to Kindig. I worked with Dave Kindig is practically my best friend. Okay, and does call me by my Christian name, Sugar, and
in public without being provoked.
It is kind of fun, isn't it? I do like that part of Dave, but it's like I go, he goes, "Hey, what's your name?" I go, "Sugar," and he goes, "We're gonna have to talk about that later." And I go, all right, we never did. He just called me Sugar from then on. But
he just accepted it.
Yeah, good. But I remember driving out to go work with them for a week, and I rented a Prius to go do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, off a Turo, which I've never done Turo and never driven a Prius. And I go, okay, I'm going to go to one of the hot rodding meccas here, and
Prius.
And I'm going to go in a Prius.
How does that? I mean, so many questions come into my head when you say I rented one and took it out of town. I mean, from a private owner is the Toro. You rent from a private owner, and you established in the first place, hey, this is my purpose.
Well, yeah, and he's tracking it the whole time. He knows where I'm going. But you can have mileage limits, and this one didn't have mileage limits. It was like a 3-year-old Prius or whatever. But I'm like going, I didn't have much cash, and so I was going out there to try to get a job, maybe a full-time gig. I don't know what I was doing, and so I was like, oh no, I'm going to take the job. I'm going to just say yes if they say yes. I guess leave it up to them. And so they went out there to interview for a week basically, and it was a blast.
A working interview.
Yeah, working interview, and it was a blast. I loved it. I went out there, got to hang out with Will, got to see all the stuff. They had the cameras over your shoulder while you're while you're
Will.
welding.
Yeah.
I love Will too. I mean, I broke one of Will's hammers, and like the first day, and I'm like in the middle of Utah. And after get off, I slide the hammer into my pocket, and I go down to a hardware store because I broke the handle, and I go to 4 hardware stores. Then I'm like, it's 6 o'clock or whatever. I'm trying to find a hardware store that stays open in Utah that I've never been to, and so I'm panicking, and I finally found some, like it was like almost like Murdoch's or something. It was like a ranch supply or whatever that had
Menards.
Yeah, something like that. And I had found a handle that was close, and I because I just wanted the handle because I knew that, you know how it is. Like, you have a hammer, you've probably been working with it forever, and like you don't want it to change, and then all of a sudden I'm borrowing tools and then I break it.
Some newbie breaks it.
And so
they got to be used to that by now though. They've had more
newbies
working interviews.
Oh yeah.
Than cars probably.
Well, so I find a handle. I put it together in the hotel room and tap it everything together. You know, I forgot how I think I just slammed it down. Yeah, I did actually. I slammed it down on the corner of the table in the hotel room, and knocked the little wedge metal into the wood through the handle, and got it to push up. So it stayed there and it was good. And then when I got in there early, I just went over to belt sander and got down the rest, and then I walked up to Will, and I go, "Hey Will, I broke your hammer." I didn't tell him that day because I was afraid of it. And he goes, "What'd you do, man?" And he just like looked at me, like looked down and looked at me, I've had people more disappointed in me, but can't remember when. And he's like going, "What did you do? Why did you break this?" And I go, "But," and he's like going, "Who cares, man? You broke it." And like, I go, "But," and go, it's you're dead to me. I'm like, "No, but," I fixed it, and I handed him the hammer with the handle. He goes, "Do you have my old handle?" I go, "Yes." And I handed him the old handle. For some reason, I knew he was going to ask for it.
Yeah.
And like, I go, "Okay." And like, and it was broken. It was cracked. I'm like, he goes, "I've been doing this. I've been working with this hammer for 30 years, and you break it in 10 minutes, man." And like, I'm like going, "Yeah. Sorry.
That's why I replaced it."
That's why." And he goes, "Get out of here, man." He was so pissed. It was so funny. But I don't know if he was funny pissed or whatever. But anyway, doesn't matter. So and then I got the job at Pinky's after that, because they said they'd hire me, but on the assembly side, not on the fabrication side.
Right.
Which would have been cool, but I'm like going, it's not the dream.
I'd rather work on the assembly side than the fab side.
Yeah, now probably. Yeah, I would say personally. The same too. Now I know better, and I probably would have done it. I should have done it, but whatever. I don't know.
Whatever.
I'll send out a resume. Whatever. Loved the shop. Loved everything. Dave Kindig is Mickey Mouse. He's always nice. He's like, he's friendly. He walks through. Want to take a picture? Cool, man. All that stuff. How you doing today, sugar? Things all right? They treating you nice? And I go, "Yeah, man." And I was like, all the time. Yeah. You felt important. It was great.
Every time I was there, I was treated very well by him.
Yeah. And
great conversation. And he was genuine when he would ask, "How's things going?" Or, "Can we do anything for you? Things going well for you?" Everything like that. You could tell it was a genuine question. Yeah. It wasn't just social. I need to do it because I'm the shop owner.
Right.
He was asking because he was, and if I said one thing negative, he'd be, "Oh, okay, we'll handle it."
Cool.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, yeah.
Nice.
Let's go talk to this person about it, or we'll have it handled one way or the other, And I never had to say anything like that too many times.
Huh.
I can distinctly remember never saying that while I was in the shop.
Huh.
When Jordan and I went there for the week of training with Kip, never had one complaint, never had one negative thing to say.
Yeah.
And never had to say to him, "Oh, I could use this, or I could see this being better this way."
No.
The only time I said anything like that was when I went to Master Tech in Arizona, and I had no idea what I was doing. I think I only had the job 2 months at that point. And he's like, "What do you need? How's everything going?" I'm like, "I don't know what I'm supposed to do." And he kind of gave me that, Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Look. Well, I'll find out for you and have somebody send you an answer.
This is right.
Thanks, Dave. And then
gosh.
not more than 10 minutes later, I get a call from Sterling. Okay, here's what we got. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, good.
And the sad thing is Sterling was supposed to have me filled in on all that. And
Okay.
it wasn't Dave's problem.
Okay.
But he handled it, so...
Master Tech was part of Kindig? I don't...
No, I went to Master Tech to learn about...
Master Tech's its own...
product show kind of a thing. It's an expo about interiors and softwares and scanners and 3D printers.
Oh,
and
really?
all that fun stuff.
Okay.
Where you can...
I don't know about them.
You could. That's where actually Dave got his new printer for a 3D printer, so he
Okay.
could print center consoles instead of having the techs fab them.
Oh, cool.
Because he can print one in 4 days instead of having a tech spend 3 weeks.
Sure.
And then, whatever. And then they could replicate it after that.
Okay.
And then sell it.
Yeah, many times.
So.
In a file. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they could sell the file. They could sell this made product. They could sell
right, because like his door handles and stuff, those are made on premise at his shop.
Kyler.
Yeah, up in the corner, he's got his own corner of the building. It's
that dude is so fucking.
It's
funny.
Rad, I mean,
I love Kyler.
I love that they can do that too inside. Dave's got it figured out with a lot of things of the different lines of making money there, not just selling T-shirts.
Dave's very good at putting the proper people in the proper places.
Yeah,
and the fact that Kevin, Dave, and Will, I mean, they're the three guys that have made that. I think Will's been there since the beginning, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
If not 2 or 3 years after, or whatever. But those three guys know how to do things and have the people around them do the things that they need, and proper people, proper places. It doesn't matter who comes and goes as the painter. It doesn't matter who comes and goes as the techs.
Yeah.
They have all that stuff figured out.
They have a system.
If we need cars dipped, they used to do it in Utah, now they do it in Seattle, I believe, because it's more financial, smarter for them and stuff like that, and they get a better product and they can turn out a better product.
Dipped?
Chemically dipped to strip.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then they come back.
Aircraft stripper.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they're called flight attendants now, but yeah.
Todd
sorry.
might not appreciate that.
I should forgive me for that joke. But
sorry, Todd.
It's one of my favorite. But anyway, yeah. Aircraft stripper. We're not even supposed to call them stewardesses.
It's called paint remover, aircraft paint remover.
Paint remover. But yeah, like I had one of my favorite moments in life too was that I came back to Colorado, got a job at Pinky's after a month-long interview with Eric, actually.
Great shop, though, too. Turns out wonderful products.
Wonderful. I wish it was my dream job. I wish I was still there, but but whatever. I moved on to different things, and Eric's moved on to just creating masterpieces after masterpiece after masterpiece. So it's like whatever. He has a big open house show at Pinky's Rod Shop here, and it's huge. There's a ton of hot rods and everything because Good Guys show. It's the kickoff party for Good Guys, Loveland, Colorado,
which is a big car show thing. Good Guys,
gigantic, and and so there's thousands of people who show up at this Pinky's Rod Shop, and which also has a bar and restaurant attached to it called Mash Lab. And so people are walking in and wheeling in and out, and Dave Kindig shows up there, and this is I'm only I don't know days into the job working
30
there.
days or so, right?
Maybe less than that. Actually, I think it was for my first week really.
Oh.
Actually, because I had just replaced a guy who Eric fired because I think that was part of the long-term interview process was Eric going, okay, maybe I can get rid of that guy because Sugar can fill in his place there because the other guy, whatever. He's a good technician, but he was just a little bit, I don't know. He was a little bit more brutal with the machines and tools there. And I guess, Eric is tidy to say the least and efficient. And I think that makes him uncomfortable having somebody who's a little bit more of a wild guy,
more rambunctious like that.
And so but that guy, that former employee, was there at the kickoff party or at the open house, and I'm like talking to them or whatever, and he's talking trash to me right away because I'm the new guy who replaced him. Well, because you can mill around the shop, and so I'm with the guys from Pinky's, and then this other guy, the former employee, is there, and let's call him Matt, and and Matt is there with his girlfriend, and he's like he says like something to the effect of this guy's this guy comes in to replace me, and he's a tool or whatever, really stupid, like
some off the cuff remark that doesn't
but
matter.
Like 80s ski movie, like kind of thing, like, oh, you think you're gonna be cool here? Well, I'll see you at the top of the mountain, then we'll know who's king of the hill. Off. Yeah, exactly. The winner gets my girl, and so
and she's like, what?
What? That's not, we're married, dude. What are you talking about? I go, I don't know her, man. I don't. But I said something flippant back to him, and got a giggle, and then I forgot what I even said. I'll have to ask Jeff. But then Will comes over. Will from Kindig comes over. He goes, "Hey, Sugar, how's it going?" And then Dave Kindig goes over. "Hey, Sugar, how's it going, man? How you been? You like it in here?" I go, "Oh yeah, dude, it's great." And I'm talking to them. I go, and I got some of the other guys that go, "Hey, I go, "Would you get a photo with the other guys from Pinky's and stuff like that?" And also Matt, the guy, is real big fan of Dave, and so I got to break the ice with Dave and Matt too, all that, and we did all that, and then
Matt's like, "Fuck you, Sugar." Fuck you.
Oh, for sure. And and then also, so that alone made me love Dave so much more, and also there's also other hot rod guys there that I just knew, from being in the industry, and so it was just fun, right away, because coming in a little bit weird first week, and then getting recognized by Dave, by Mickey Mouse himself, and then getting and then Will, who's an incredible talent, and you have to respect him.
Yeah.
If I bet you astronauts would go, "Wow, it's Will."
Absolutely.
And Will goes, "Hey man, we broke something on the we broke something on the trailer. One of the awnings is busted. I need this piece." And he showed me a fastener. I'm like going, "I don't know where those are, Will." I haven't been introduced to where those supplies are. And so I found one of the other guys, and I got Will hooked up with Jeff, one of the other employees at Pinky's, and he goes over and shows them everything else, which was cool for Jeff, because Jeff is like going, "Oh, cool, Will."
I'm talking and working.
Yeah,
with Will.
exactly. And I was talking to some other guy who was a roadie for Beyonce, literally, and it was the best, because and then I heard 10 minutes later, Matt goes, "Who the hell is the Sugar guy? What the hell's going on here?" And I was like going, I grew 4 inches in height that day, man. I was like, "On hell yeah, bro!"
Absolutely. Validation is the best thing for any job.
Yeah,
just be validated in your job.
Yeah, for sure.
There's nothing better than that.
Yeah, I adored it, and that was one of the that was a highlight. But and then also, but Pinky's was biting off more than I could chew. It was definitely I felt. Imposter syndrome doesn't start to explain it. I was just like going, "Wow, I'm over my head here. This is incredible." But also I knew quite a bit on, just how cars work and stuff like that. And so, so I just could do everything I could to get in there, and hopefully I would just learn the rest, and ended up.
The fabrication takes a long time to learn. Some guys can spend their whole lives learning fabrication and still not have the quality that those guys at Pinky's have.
Yeah, and once you're good at it, you die. The next day, you're dead.
Generally,
exactly. Yeah.
And you can't pass it on. You can't teach anybody else, because it's always up to them if they have the skill or not.
You can never learn it. It's impossible. No one ever does. You're born with it, and it doesn't come into realization until you're 97 years old, and then you die.
More cars are being built.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of old guys on their deathbeds going, "Oh, I know how to do a reverse compound curve." Oh, my heart. Done.
I got it.
That's it. Yeah.
Shit.
That's
That's
why
sad.
it's so hard to get new guys in this industry.
They don't learn until they're dead. But, dude, that one guy, Pete, Hallie's husband, Pete.
Okay.
He comes in and does a demo, and those fenders that we made, right?
Yeah.
We probably have 20, 40 hours into getting that curve done and getting it so it, balsing it, wheeling it. Some have hammered it, right? Pete takes that flat piece, 10 minutes. He's got it in the Bailey, and it's a fender. Just 10 minutes he's got it, and he made a fender. And he holds it up. He's got a number 4, and he's got a number 3, and it's just delicious. And I'm like, I have got so much more to learn. I have got so many more hours to put in. You need that 10,000 hour blah, blah, blah to be a pro.
Delicious. I like that phrase that you just put out.
So that was like somewhat humbling and inspiring all at once. It was like, I thought I knew something, but all I know is the beginning, and I need and want to learn so much more now.
How do you think you could get over that fear? Yeah, because okay, so here we got a couple themes. We got competition, intimidation, the intimidator,
fuck that guy,
and fear, and imposter syndrome. All through all this, those are all part of it.
Well, if you're confident, you don't have any fear, so those cancel each other out.
Okay.
And if you're confident, you're not imposturing. So, and if you are imposturing, it's because you have the confidence to know that you're going to fucking get to that point eventually. Fake it till you make it. So that just leaves the last.
So what is it then?
Competition.
How do you do this then? How do you do it because especially if you start out doing this,
compete with yourself,
I guess. But you also I don't know.
Just like you said, the late braking, the everything else, you get more confident in it. So you compete with yourself to get more confident in that skill of double reverse curve and compound. Oh my gosh.
Do you get better when other people are working with you? Okay, me too. But you're working on your own for last few months, and then several months, and then and I'm working on my own now too. So it's like we're friends. We're working together. I'm not saying we're not working
right.
But
but on cars we're working individually. Yeah.
But
the working alone, there's sometimes.
How do you make yourself better? I
challenge myself to do something I haven't done, or I'm put in that scenario and didn't know I was putting myself in that scenario by going, oh shit, I don't have the materials I need, or oh shit, I'm short on this or something. I have to come up with that MacGyver scenario where all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm gonna take vinegar and water and I'm gonna paint this truck. How the hell do you do that? Well, that's all I got. So some
of the best paint jobs are vinegar and water. Everybody knows that. It's a secret.
But that's how I learned how to do some of the metal shaping and stuff that I do, because for most of my career, all I had was a vise and a hammer, and I had to make this curve for the quarter panel wheel opening on a Camaro. Right. So I'm over there on the vise, ting, 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 ting. Spending hours just getting that one little 4-inch piece to weld in. But after I'm done with that 4 hours of ting, I don't have to put any mud on it. I don't have to do anything else. So that's how I competed with myself to be better. And in that scenario, working by myself, I learned more. But a lot of times working with other people, that's where I learned the best and work the best, is because it's
you never want to be the smartest guy in the room.
There's a subconscious competition.
Because once you get... I'm telling my buddy Jeff this because he's now the smartest guy in the room at this shop he's working at.
Okay.
And it's going to hurt him. He's an excellent fabricator. He's fantastic at his job. Okay. He makes beautiful things.
Yet.
And nobody's better than him there. Okay. And so he's not going to progress and get any better.
I don't agree with that.
I agree with me because I'm right about me saying this thing because I already texted it to Jeff. Don't contradict.
Did Jeff concur or did he dispute?
Yeah, he goes, yeah, because we were both in a shop where we had some real masters, and so that we wanted to learn from and that we did get to learn from, but and it made us better. I mean, I'm a million times better when than the guy who started at Pinky's than I am the guy who left Pinky's.
Yeah.
I'm, and I, which maybe that'll help my 15-year project will eventually be perfect once I start turning wrenches on again. There'll be no mud, and
it's all perfect metal.
It'll be powered. My wiring harness will be all Bluetooth. It won't even have a receiver on the other end.
It won't even have a fucking harness.
Yeah.
It'll run by homeostasis.
Homeostasis. I will just achieve oneness, and then it will run on willpower.
That's a hell of a 15-year plan, dude.
Well, it's doable.
I hope you can market that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. We'll bottle it. If it can be bottled. People will open these jars and go, I don't know if it worked. I go, you have to believe that it'll work. And then...
The sad thing, though, is going to be the day of your deathbed. The car rises and drives, and you're like, oh.
I know. I'm getting there quick. I'm turning 97 soon, so I got to...
We only got 15 years left with sugar. You better enjoy him now.
Because,
As soon as he figures it out, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rule.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I can't figure it out, or else it'll ruin it for everything. I don't know. But, I had a guy, I have a friend's dad, or a friend, and his son is an engineer, wants to get into car stuff. He's studying engineering at college, and he wants to get into car stuff. And I go,
mechanical engineering? What kind of engineering?
I assume so.
Electrical, bio?
Not bio, but I think it's mechanical engineering.
Okay.
I don't know. Kids bore me. I don't talk to them. I'm not kidding.
Some of my best conversations are with 4-year-olds.
I know. Oh my gosh, I got a 4-year-old. I was at my niece's preschool yesterday, and because I went to go hang out with them for an hour, and they, I kid you not, this kid. I walk around. I'm going. I go, introduce me to your friends. And she goes, okay, right around here. This is this kid. And in the Spider-Man shirt. He's really cool. And then I walk around the corner to him, doesn't say hi. I say hello. And he goes, want to see how high I can jump?
Yes.
And I'm going, I almost wanted to stop and go, that's really cliche, dude. Because and he did it. And he wound up and he jumped, and it was literally that high. It was 2 inches, maybe.
Go, buddy, go.
And he goes, huh? And he is impressing me. I go, wow, dude. I bet you could go higher. It was just a way of saying, I'm not impressed. Try harder.
Fucker.
But also, I was,
You weren't shooting him down, but you were...
Achieve your dreams, kid. You can make it one day.
You're on
the right track.
He's 4.
I bet you could double that right now. But yeah, he was 4, I think. So
those are the best conversations.
Oh my gosh,
because they're absolutely truthful, unfiltered, and they're
But if you were going to say, okay, do an impression of a 4-year-old. You'd say, hey, look how high I can jump or whatever. And he did that unprompted. It was amazing. It made me so happy. So happy. I was like, do that again on video so I can tell Greg. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. But with my buddy who wants to get into, he loves engineering. He wants to get into automotive, but has zero experience. I go, all that worry, all that intimidation, all that yelling at you when you're a baby mechanic way back when kind of came flooding back a little bit. Me talking to him, going, "You're in for it, dude.
I hope you got some thick skin." Buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I go, "Do you want to start an oil change pit or what, man? I mean, because that's how we all did, you
Well,
know, or parking cars as a porter on a dealership
or
lot.
junkyards.
You want to? I go. Are you into American cars? Are you into hot rods? Are you into European stuff? Because I know everybody. I can get you.
Somewhere.
Says I'm looking for like a summer internship, and I go, and in the back of my mind, I'm going like, why don't you just get hired at entry level and then quit?
Yeah, because there's no such thing.
Because I don't think there is such thing as an apprenticeship. It's
No,
going in and saying
internship. Yeah. No, you're just a helper,
yeah.
and you either survive or you don't.
Yeah, and
So if you don't survive as a helper, you're not a detailer either.
Maybe maybe he needs a credit for college or something. I don't know, like as an internship.
Oh, I see.
Might be something like that. So, but
I don't think there is internship. But Caliber Collision has that apprentice thing where they pay you to learn for so long, and then you go work for them. But most of the time, the people that do that, they get most of it enough to learn enough, and then they go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because working for the corporate collision shops is kind of
it's tough.
It can be tough unless you're really good, and then you can just make enough money that nobody cares. They're happy because you're turning more hours than is asked of.
No greater enemy of greatness than goodness. This is fine.
This is fine.
I'll stop here.
Yeah. Oh. So I don't know. How do you get that person into the industry with they have to want it?
Amen. Okay, that would be the punchline if you didn't say it. I was going to say it because it's not 1 for 1. You're not. I put in 4 hours. I get 4 hours out of this.
Right.
It has to be. You have to love it, and it has to be an impractical love. I think.
Yeah.
In order to actually.
Yeah, well said.
Pursue this, because if you don't love it, it will eat you alive and kill you.
And you'll just end up hating it and anything automotive after that.
Yeah, and then you leave it and you sell insurance or something like that. And you go back in my day, and you think of your glory years or whatever. Yeah, I used to drive Carrera GTs and Porsche, Ferrari F40s or whatever. Like I start talking about, but
you did.
I didn't drive them.
In my dreams, I did though.
I sanded and I washed them, but I worked on a bunch of fun cars, next to them. But
I did drive a Cobra once. It was a replica, but I did get to move it around the parking lot and stuff like that.
I mean, I've driven R8s in anger, Yeah. I wasn't angry, but I just would mean that I grabbed them by the scruff of the neck and I drove them really hard. I drove an Audi R8, V10 manual, gated shifter. Statute of limitations is gone now. So, but I drove it like I was going to get fired that day.
That's
because I'm like going, this is my opportunity. It was like a used car on the lot, and I put tires on it, and there's nothing wrong with it. It was perfect. But God bless Audi, those cold, heartless Germans. They said, this must be driven 10 miles before the sensors will recognize this car. So I put the tires on, I get to drive it.
Yes, you do.
I heat cycled those tires, and so that they would be perfectly round. But I also drove it before I put the tires on it so that I could slide it on the old tires. And I drove it around. There's those tight loops coming off the highway, so it comes out.
The Cloverleaf exits. So much fun.
Cloverleaf exit, and then drove it as hard as I could towards it, and just thought, okay, I have a deductible that's worth it if I wreck this thing.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going for that.
I'm going for that.
And it's not going to be $2,000.
It's going to be worth it.
The deductible was $2,000. I'm going, this is going to be worth it. And I'm thinking in my mind too, I'm going to wreck this, and I'm going to put in a $60,000 thing because my deductible will be at $2,000 whether I wreck it. It's going to be $60,000 repair, or if it's
$2,000 repair.
Yeah, if it's $1,800 repair, like I chip a wheel, and then that's not worth it. That's not fun. No. So I'm like going, today I'm getting fired. I'm just going to drive this. And then, because I'm like going, when am I going to get this chance? And drove it as hard as I could. I got onto that loop and I just kept my foot in it real hard. And the back end slides out and it's 4-wheel drive and it just, you snick down one gear and it just pulls and it's accelerating as it's sliding and it just goes 4-wheel drift. And then I slid sideways onto the highway into the fast lane and it caught and went and it just went forward and I was laughing my ass off and shot down the highway there and then weaved through traffic and then made my way back to the dealership into my bay, put it up on the lift, and I just was vibrating while I was putting those tires on. I was so happy and so calm.
There's nothing like that.
And afterwards, my heart was beating at 4 paces, every minute.
I was going to say,
just like Heidelbrand.
For the F1 driver?
Yeah, the IndyCar Rookie of the Year, J.R. Heidelbrand, and me had the same pulse rate for once in my life. And then I've since ruined it with a lot of artery filling donuts. And just put on those tires and then took a leisurely stroll with the new tires so I didn't mess up the treads on that, so we can then park it back in the lot with brand new set. And I loved it. I didn't take any photos of it. I just kept it. It was a beautiful memory, and I love that car. And every time I see an R8, I just go, that's worth it. That's such a great car. And it makes these sounds.
That's my 70 Chevelle.
Your what?
70 Chevelle.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Just got to go crazy in one once, and holy fuck balls.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Every time I see one,
I don't know, man. So there are there are payoffs.
Yes.
All right, I think I'm going to end it there. That was awesome, dude.